Got some new tires to install today. I'm super excited to try the Assegai for the front and a Dissector for the rear. Both of these are the triple compound or 3C Max Terras. So they're gonna be a little bit softer than the dual compound that I've used in the past on Maxxis tires. So I'm hoping these will give me a little bit more grip. So I've already got a tubeless setup on my stock. Ripley came with Dampf up front, 2.6 width, and Nobby Nicks on the rear, also 2.6. They're okay tires. Actually, I do like them, but I'm just curious to try these Maxxis. I've been wanting to try this Assegai for a while. Lots of good reviews, and we'll see how it goes. So the things I'll need here are my tire sealant, injector to put the sealant in there, and also a valve core remover and a compressor. But step one is going to be wash the dirty bike. Really the only thing you need to wash here are like the rims and the tires, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this crud off of there anyway, because that's probably a mix of cow crap and mud, and it's due for a little bit of a bath. So let's do that first. Okay. Now, dry the bike a little, take the tires off. Okay, so got the tires off. Now, going to take the old, well, I should say I got the tires and rims off, and now I'm going to take the old tire off the rim. So this is my front. Let the air out. It takes a while. So this is a little kit I keep in my Camelback, and it has tire spoons, some Park Tool tire spoons. I got a valve core remover, a couple extra valve cores in there. Got my little Crank Brothers multi-tool and a Stan's dart. So we're going to take the core out, let the air out faster, and we'll use that. We'll need that for later. All right. So let's get the tire off now that the air's out. So just put a little pressure on the bead pushing in. That releases it. Then the same from the other side, just to release the bead. And now the tire is just kind of sitting on the middle of the rim, and then for the fun part of trying to pry the tire out. But these little tire spoons should help out here. They're a little bit tighter on the rim, it seems. And I don't know if you can see that, but there's a whole bunch of my sealant still in there. Once you get it started, they come right off. There you go. And then now we just have the rim. So I'm gonna clean the sealant off the rim tape, just to make sure that all looks good. And it does. Rim tape is holding up as expected. This bike isn't that old, so got it in mid-October of 2020, but I've already got about 900 miles on it, and it's mid-March now. I've been riding it and enjoying it. This is an awesome bike. Okay, so this is the front tire, and on the front we're putting the Assegai brand new 29 by 2.5. I don't know where my garbage can went. There it is. Definitely anxious to try this. I saw these are the stock tires that come on the Ripmo, and they just look super grippy, and all the reviews are really good on them. So we're gonna find out tomorrow at Pacifica, see how it does there, which is, I haven't been there before, so I won't have anything to compare it to. At least not to my other tires. Oh well. Okay, so these I believe are directional, yes? It's in Han Stomp, they're not directional. So Maxxis, so far all the ones I've tried are. So they have a rotation arrow when they are. And the rotor, disc rotor, is on the left hand side of the tire, so it will rotate this way. So just make sure that the arrow is pointing this direction, and it is, so that's the way we're going to put it on. Alright, now the fun part, wrestle the new tire on the rim. Definitely have to have pretty strong hands to wrestle these in there. This last little bit is tough. You can usually get it by rolling it in like from the edge here. then the other side comes out. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and use my tire spoons. Hey, how about that? Come on. Did it. Okay, now we got to set the bead. I like to do before I do anything else. So what I'll do before I put any sealant in there, I'm going to put the old valve core back in. Get that in place. It's opened up all the way. Then I've got this little adapter. It's a Presta to Schrader adapter, and it screws on to the old valve core. And then I've got my compressor. Okay, so one thing you do have to be careful of, and it doesn't usually happen, but you gotta make sure that your tire isn't bound on the valve outlet so that it will fill in. And then yeah, you just kind of keep adding air. You hear it pop. And then once it's seated, yeah, so it's not fully seated, so you got to keep going until it fully seats. So there's little factory line, and I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but you want to make sure that that pops all the way out. And so like here, it hasn't popped all the way on this edge here. So we'll just keep adding more air until it does. Although looks like, yeah, we're fully seated. So this little rim here is equal around both sides. You don't want too much pressure. Like, there is a maximum rating on these tires. You don't want to blow your tire. So if it's not gonna pop, which it seems to always pop for me, but if it doesn't, then it's best to get a little bit of dish soap and water and just get it a little bit soapy. Like, let the air out, get it soapy, then add some more air in, and then you shouldn't need more than, I don't know, it's like maybe 40 pounds of pressure. Like these Assegai, looks like they say 50 pounds of pressure is the max. So you could probably hit like 50 or even a little bit more, but all right. So gonna let the air back out. So the bead is seated. I'm gonna take my little adapter, press to the Schrader adapter out. Gonna take my valve core remover, let that air all the way out, and try not to break the bead. But now I want to inject the sealant. So this little syringe puts 2 ounces. And I think most of the stuff that I've read, they say like 2 ounces of sealant, but I'm gonna put 4 just to be safe. I have a little bit extra in there. I've heard some people put like 4 or 5, but make sure you shake up your sealant, and then suck it up into your syringe. Okay, we'll start with that. That's 2 ounces. Screw this on to the valve stem. And then just squirt it in. Okay, that's 2 ounces. And then instead of unscrewing it and trying to slurp it back up, I'm just gonna fill it up from here, because I'm at the end. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I guess that's 2 ounces. Okay, so there we go. That's 4 ounces. That should be good. Okay. Okay, now I got my sealant in there. I didn't hear anything pop, so my beads held, and even if they didn't hold, I mean, you could just pop them back into place. So, put my valve core back in. You could just go with a regular press to pump at this point and just start pumping it up. But I'm gonna go ahead and use the compressor since I already got it out. Oops. Okay, now I've got some pressure in there. Just gonna recheck my beads. Yep, looks good on this side. Looks nice and even on this side. And then now you want to just work the sealant around. Let it get in the sides and the cracks. We'll go take this for a ride later. That's it. First time I did this, and I think other people have probably done this too, but this is where you realize, oh no, you had your rotation wrong. So pay attention to that. Okay, front tire's done. Do the rear. Sealant running around. All right. I think we got new tires. Exciting. Yeah, now to put them back on. All right, they're all on. These are the new Assegai. They definitely look knobby. I like them. They don't seem as wide as the Hans Dampf, but maybe they are. Maybe it's just different shape to me, but definitely think it's wide enough. I'll measure it with calipers later, but looks pretty good. I like it. And then the Dissector. Dissector looks pretty good, I think. 2.6s. Not really sure. I'm just gonna have to see how it does here. But I like it. Definitely the cornering knobs stick out further, so I'm hopeful that the drifting that I get with the knobby nicks won't be as pronounced on this one. Might get some skidding on braking just because the center is not as aggressive, but we'll have to see. But there it is, ready to go. Now just set it all pressures and make sure everything is tightened up and ready for tomorrow.